Hi, my name is Matt Friedland, and this video is a tutorial on how to play the song BFF by Iero. This was a request of one of my students to learn how to play this song, and there is an album version, but the version I'm going off of today is a live version that he did, essentially just shooting it from a bed. I'm not sure what series this is from, but to bring that up, here's the version that I'm looking at. Looks like Best Friends Forever in Bed, My Music RX, or Bed Stock. So anyway, with this, it gives us a better perspective on the chord grips that he's using, and so we'll look at those. I've also got a PDF of the transcription or the chords that he's playing for the song as well. So first thing to note, it looks like he has actually tuned his guitar down a half step, which means he's tuning his guitar probably E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat, so dropping the tuning down a half step. So where we're going to play all the chords are going to be 1 fret lower than where he's playing them. I'm not sure why he tuned down a half step for this song. He probably just keeps his guitar in that tuning, but there's no need actually to tune your guitar down a half step to play this song. So the song starts with this 2-note chord here. It's a little bit of a stretch. So we have an E on the 7th fret of the A string, and then I'm going to use my pinky to grab the 11th fret of the D string. So we get that sound. Looking at the PDF here, zoom in here. So we've got fret 7 and fret 11, and then he goes to like an E bar chord. So off of the 7th fret, got my first finger on the 7th fret, and using the 3rd finger to flatten across fret 9 on strings 4, 3, and 2. So we play those strings together. If you're struggling to get the bar, make sure your finger's flattened, apply a lot of pressure. It takes some time to get used to the pressure, but you could eliminate the bar and just play these 2 notes. So the pattern that he's playing is just alternating between those 2 chords. So first chord, so he plays that twice. And then moving on to the next chord, I was looking at the video here to see how he was doing this. It looks like he's playing just 2 notes again to start. He's got the first finger on the 7th fret and the 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the 3rd string. And basically he's muting strings 5 and 4. So to do that, you have to curve your finger so that it's relaxed, so it deadens those strings. So when you strum, you can hear only the 2 notes that you're holding down. So what's going to happen is he's actually going to go from these 2 chords so the pinky starts on the 11th fret of string 4 again, while we have the first finger on the 7th fret of string 6. And again, we want to mute the strings in between, so we only hear the 2 notes. And then from there, we go to the 2nd finger on the 8th fret of string 3. And similar strumming pattern, we have so the second time through the pattern, he kind of plays a little bit of an embellishment there. And so on the tab, he's coming back to the 11th fret and then he's going to come to the 9th fret of the 4th string here. So what that would look like would be, he's going to play, and I'm using my 3rd finger to grab that last note. So the sequence sounds something like this. And then he comes back to the E chord that we started with. So we have this, starting from the E. So that's essentially the pattern for what I'm calling is the A section. The A section. I'm not sure if this is a chorus or his form is a little bit unconventional, so I'm just going to label these in letter terms. That's the A section there. So moving on to the chords off of the second half of the A section, we start again with E. Then he's got a little bit of an embellishment. So this chord right here, off of the 7th fret, he throws that in. This is this shape. It's like a power chord with the 2nd finger. We'll call this an E major 7. And then he does a hammer-on with his pinky into the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So the pattern off of that would be, into this B major chord. So we'd have a little bit of a jump there. So let's check it out in his video here to kind of see how he's doing that. Go back to the intro. All right, so, and he'll repeat that pattern. So it's something like, so he gets to a B major bar chord. So to play that, here's our B chord. Barring across the 7th fret, we have fret 7, 9, 9, 8, 7, 7. Really applying pressure with that 1st finger. Just check to make sure you got all the strings to come and ring out. So from the A section, then it'll repeat. A little bit tough to get those, keep those open strings or muted and that kind of thing. So from that B especially. So you want to make sure you go really slow with these things. From that B, See that open string? I got that open string to ring out. Actually, I'm hearing the A string, so. Really have to use the fingertip and get off of any pressure on the other string. And then coming back, have to get back there, so. And I would practice that. Just making sure I can get back to that. So that's the A section. Moving into the next section. Listen to the A section again. The second A section here. Some of that strumming with that B chord. Something like that. That's what I have on the PDF. 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 4. 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 So moving on to the next section. So now he's making use of a major bar chord shape, and without the bar, he's not moving the bar this time. We're starting on an A major chord, finger 1, 3, 4, and 2, and we're basically going to move that off of the 5th fret to the 8th fret, 3rd fret, and then he's going to end up on the 2nd fret. So the pattern would be off of the A, getting to the 2nd fret, which would be an F sharp major chord. Looking at the PDF here. So this is the B section. And the rhythm that he's playing are all these quarter note triplets. So the word that helps me get the rhythm for quarter note triplets, or the syllables of the word, is the word chocolate. So if I say chocolate, 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 that helps me kind of get the timing or count out the rhythm. So the counting would be chocolate, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Chocolate, 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 1. So moving these bar chords around, and then when he gets to the F sharp chord, he does a quick little slide into the G up a half step. Quick little slide to bring it up and kind of bring it back down. So check out the video for that. There it is right there. Back up a little bit. There it is right there. There it is again. Okay, so moving to the next section. Move to the next section here. This would be a C section, new section. And he's going back to the E major bar chord form. And then he's going to take that shape and he's going to move it off of the 6th string on the 9th fret, still keeping that bar. And we're not really hearing the 2nd or 1st string with that chord. And basically he's just vamping between those two. He might leave some space to allow his vocals to carry through. He's kind of playing it more like. So we'll take a look at that in the recording here. So there we have him coming back to the A section again. So on the chart we have a DS after the C section. So DS al coda. So when you see a DS, what we're going to do is we're going to jump back to the top of the first page where you see the little S with 2 dots and a line through it. That's a DS symbol. And that's where we need to go back to. So this would be the repeat of the whole A section. And from there, what we need to do is we need to jump to the coda. So after the A section, I'm going to add this in here. We need our coda symbol should go right there, I believe. And what that means is after we played through on this B chord, that would follow this section. Then we jump to the coda, this little target symbol here, and that would take us to the D section, new section here. So let's check out on the recording where he's going just to kind of follow him along here. There's that B chord. This is the repeat of the A section. Okay, so this is the D section, new section here. And we'll check this out in the tab here. Single note playing within essentially a chord grip. And what we want to do is we're going to start off of the 9th fret of your D string. And I'm using my 3rd finger to play that. I couldn't tell exactly the fingering that he's using for that, but I think 3rd finger works best. And I have my 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the 3rd string. So we have this pattern where you're going to drop your 1st finger down onto the 4th string on the 8th fret. Picking wise, maybe down and up works best. That's the first phrase. Then the 2nd phrase we have, it's just basically adding another note for that first phrase. You're going to take that 3rd finger and move it onto the 9th fret of the A string. On the tab, notice it here, 9, 8, 9, 8, and then dropping the 9th fret on the A string right there. So we have again the first 2 phrases. Then he's going to come back to that first phrase again. Now we've got kind of an answer to the 2nd phrase. So that ends up being this. So we've got to slide into the 11th fret of your G string. And we could pull off from the 9th fret. Actually, no. Yeah, pull off from the 9th fret to the 8th fret with finger 3 to 2. So, because that sets us back up to get into the original chord grip. So looking at the tab here, let's see. Basically, we've got and then he plays fret 9, fret 11 to end the phrase. Let's check out his playing on it. So yeah, that last little pattern that he played there. Then he drops into an F sharp major bar chord. So again, slowly this D section here would be dropping into the F sharp major chord. So from there, we'll listen a little bit. So another section here, I'm calling this the E section. So we've got F sharp, then he comes all the way up to the 9th fret to play a C sharp major chord. And same form. Then he does this little run here with power chords. Something like that. Okay, so basically the power chords are D sharp, this little power chord run, up to E, half step up, G sharp on the 11th fret, to F sharp on the 9th fret. He sits there. So the rhythm is, so we'd have 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 1 and 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2 and. It's an accent, down, down, up, and a quick stop there off of the C sharp power chord, which is on the 4th fret. So the whole sequence, or the whole section would be F sharp, C sharp, then this little run. That's the whole section here. That would be the E section. And from there, he kind of plays the A section again. He continues on. It's like an instrumental of the A section. And we'll kind of watch that here. So that right there, he does a little bit of an embellishment off that B chord. he's kind of going. So I'll bring up the tab for that here. Off of the B chord, fret 7 and 11, this is how he normally plays it. Then to 7 and 8 here. Hits that again. Now here's where he does this little embellishment. So on this chord, I'm going to play like a power chord with fret 7 and, let me zoom that in here. So fret 7 and fret 9, it's like a B power chord. So you can see that there. And keeping the second finger on the 8th fret. So I'm muting the other strings. It's kind of like I'm playing part of a major chord here. I am playing a major chord, or he is playing a major chord, but not barring it. And the reason why we're doing that is we've got a little bit of this run here, individual notes, fret 9, 8, 9, 9. We've got that sound going on. So in order to play these notes here, I need my pinky to play that. My pinky's going to move fret 9, I'm going to take it off, it's going to drop to fret 8. Then I'm going to put my pinky on fret 9 here, and then put the pinky on fret 9 here. So that would look like this. He's doing this pretty fast. But that's that little run that he's playing. Finding some ways to embellish his melody for this. Basically, this is an instrumental section. Let's look at that little run again. So there it is. And actually, to kind of see what he was doing, I slowed this video down by 75%. Just to kind of see where he was moving. So if you're using the video as a reference as well, check that out. Slow things down by 75% or 50% on YouTube to kind of get an idea. Okay, so moving on, he does another embellishment. Okay, so that little part, that's kind of an interesting part there. Let's bring that back here. Okay, so let me bring up the tab for that one. There was another embellishment that he did off of the E chord. Let's see, he did. Okay, so right before this embellished part that we just saw in the video. That's how he plays that. Let's go back to the video here for a second. Just want to check that. That's kind of what he plays there off that E. So I've got just first and second finger playing this chord, muting everything. And then the third finger will come onto the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Here's the tab of that here. The 3rd finger coming onto the 9th fret. Now this chord that he plays here, he's using his thumb to play it. I particularly don't like to use my thumb. If you can wrap your thumb, that's cool. You want to do it over the 9th fret, but I'm going to do it using my 2nd finger on the 9th fret of the E string. And then I'm going to use my 3rd finger to flatten across the 9th fret of the 4th and 3rd string. So you have that chord. This is called a C sharp minor 7 chord. And so what he plays, he grabs the 11th fret of the 3rd string, and then he comes to this chord here. Here it is on the tab. I'm going to use finger 2, finger 3, and finger, let's blow this up here. finger 3 here, I'm going to use finger 2, finger 3, and finger 1. Finger 2, 3, and 1. Trying to mute the other strings. And then he grabs this note with the pinky. So he had this pattern. That kind of thing. A little bit of a stretch, but again, these are things you want to slow down. And as I was doing this with the YouTube video, I was slowing that down to kind of get all the mechanics right. So you want to do the same thing. Keep in mind that as you're learning a song, one thing is gathering all the information about what the parts are that you have to play, but then there's the aspect of practicing all those parts to put everything together, which is a next step. So right now we've got all the parts. You might obviously need to practice these parts individually to put everything together to get to the complete version of the song. So slow is the way to go with that. All right, so basically after this section here, we played going back into another vocal section, another A section. Let's watch the video for that. So we covered that section. He's he's already played that before, so no new information there. And now he's jumping back into our, I believe, let's check here. Jumping back into the C section. The C section, which was the E bar chord, and then this C sharp sus4 chord. So he essentially plays this about 4 times now. The first time he played it, he only played it 2 times. So he's playing this essentially 4 times, but on the 4th time, I'm going to jump to the recording. He does a little bit of an embellishment or an ending for that section, and he's about to wrap the tune up. So we'll listen to the recording for a second. Okay, so almost coming up on the end there. So he goes. And he's playing octaves here. So when you play octaves, first thing he's starting on the 9th fret of the E string. And he got the first finger on the 9th fret of the E string. The 3rd finger is playing the 11th fret of the D string, and that's the octave, meaning these notes are the same name. They're both C sharp. One's higher and one's lower. So we want to relax the first finger and mute the other strings. So we're only hearing those 2 strings together. And he's sliding this shape from the 9th fret, 11th fret, 9th to the 7th fret. And when I say the fret number, I'm referring to where my first finger is going, not my 3rd finger. We want to keep the spacing the same. So he plays this, the last time he plays that section, that's pretty much the pattern. I'll do it one more time slowly. And from there, he's just going back to an E major chord. And he's just holding it for an undetermined amount of time. He's singing his last vocal part there, and he'll end on a B major bar chord and kind of hit it again for like a big crescendo ending. Let's watch the video to see how he does that. Holds the chord, ends on the B chord. And there's the tune.